All right, team. How we doing? How we doing, everyone? Hope you're doing good. Market's on a pump. Market is on a pump off that tariff news. Tariffing 100% on chips, but not for all the big mega caps who are investing in the USA. So we just make the rules up as we go along. Fantastic. All right, but it's great for the market. Volatility increases. So what have we got here? Look where we're coming back into. Hello, Mr. Top Bollinger Band. The difference now is that this is going to start expanding like this, like we talked about. Once we go from one mean reversion, other mean reversion, top. All right, we're building liquidity in here. It's going to offer expansion both ways. All right, so we have room. And this, I would say, is not really a strong high. And the reason I say that is normally when we put a top in the market, we do it in the New York session. This is not in the New York session. All right, this is in the overnight session, and you can see that quite clearly from going for QQQ. Right, we're almost there on QQQ already. We've filled the gap. All right, the overnight session would be up here. All right, so we have potential if it really wants to get squeezing, but our location is not great, is it? Momentum's fantastic. Location is not too great right now, so we need to have a look at the other time frames. Moving down, just focus on this one down here with me first, the hourly. All right, so the hourly is starting to make higher highs and higher lows. All right, so there we have trend down, collapse, break, trend down, fail to break lower, higher high, sorry, higher low, higher high, higher low. There's your sort of inverted head and shoulder, breakout, breaker structure that confirms the move higher. We are moving higher. So the options today are what? Location's terrible. All right, I don't really want to be a new money long up here. If you're swing long, you're probably just holding on and looking for rotation to the highs. So we need to wait. If we're going to be long, we're going to have to wait for some form of pullback to allow us to get long. Now, the easiest, most obvious level here will be the sort of retest of, let's just call it around 400. We might not be given that. All right, it's possible that the market says, no, we're not coming that deep. So we need to be aware of that. The other option is we drive in the morning and we get met with these sellers into sort of 750, 760, and they drive this down. So I don't want to be long up here in the morning. All right, I want to either look for that short back down if it sets up. All right, I'm not just going to attack it. It's going to need to do something like this and give me a backside move. And once we start rotating down, I'm taking partials because I'm expecting the market to find a bid. Now that might be in this RBS zone. It might be that it comes deeper. It might be that it comes shallow because it doesn't want to fill the gap. All right, and it leaves the PDC open. We don't know. The only thing we're going to have to do is judge that by time. So looking at the 30-minute chart now, all right, you can see the clear zones in even more detail. So we've started to take out every level of liquidity here. All right, we're starting to lack things to aim for. There's a good chance it wants to get all the way back to these highs. Don't know what I've done there. All right, very good chance it wants to come back up here. So zooming in to the overnight session. All right, this is volume based on overnight. The only reason I'm doing this is because the gap is so big. You can see that in here we got pretty thin. All right, so I would say basically under 580 down to 500, so basically an 80-point gap. It's thin. If we're going to protect this 580, all right, so like if we're going to dip into 580, maybe there's a tiny sweep under there and bulls come in and reclaim, it is possible that that is enough of a bear trap to move up. I'm not saying it will do that, but it's possible. All right, if we come into this like little low volume node, sweep this little low and protect it, it's possible that we still go higher. If we trade, all right, if we trade underneath 580, back test it, stay heavy, it's possible that they will then do the rotation back down to previous week point of control, which is currently overnight point of control. And I wouldn't be surprised at that point if it got down there, it might as well come and sweep out at least London, if not Asia. All right, the gap fill is right here. All right, which will be value. All right, so if we get stuck under the 80s, I'm going to think about a possible rotation down. My targets would be 500 and the runners will be overnight lows and gap fill. I'm not really thinking beyond gap fill. The reason for that being is if we zoom out, if we fill this gap, all right, if there's a short setup here and we fill this gap, it's very probable bulls will want to step back in at this point. all right, and run back up. So there's both sides of the trade available right now. The long side's probably the easier trade once we come down here. So if you're not comfortable taking this short, right, you can just wait. You can just wait for this set to set up today or tomorrow. Don't force yourself in, because the short is going to be playing. You're going to have to wait for the momentum to snap, and you're going to have to play it, and you're going to have to err on the side of caution. Why do I say that? Because the bulls have been in control all week, right? All week. Bulls are in control. There's your pullback. Bulls are in control. Maybe it offers a pullback. Bulls might well be in control again, right? The only way that will change really is if we get a short here, we build out some liquidity here, they go for another leg, they snap this, and really the daily is not bearish until we get down here. And right now, based on my weekly model, the chances of this happening are less than 20%. All right, and the higher we go, the less chance it is. All right, so the chances of us getting down here are not very good right now. More chances of either going sideways or driving higher. All right, so hopefully that makes sense to you on the 30-minute chart. Keep dragging that out. Point of control starting to flip upside now, which is kind of useful, to be honest. All right, let's go down to the lower time frame. Hopefully you're sticking with me and this is making sense for you so far. Lower time frame, what do we have? Same thing, we're just looking on here. You can see the previous day. So previous day, value area low, way down here. The areas of interest really are here. They're all bundled together. All right, previous day value area high, previous day point of control, previous day close, Asia. I'd say all in here, 450, 425, 450, 425. Big level of interest if we get down here. Might be sweeps under there and then returns in. So I am paying very close attention to that. Where did I say that snap could come? 557 down to, sorry, I've just got to measure this out. So there's a move from 580 to 510. There's really not much, is there? Jeez, man, this is crazy. Okay, so the short on the lower time frame might take place under here to here, basically. And that's kind of it. If you get lucky, it comes down here, but it might well just hold that. If it holds that and gets stuck again, then maybe we go deeper. So yeah, this is a lot going on here because the drive's been so high into some key levels. The easier trade's definitely going to be to wait for the pullback right now. That is going to be the easier trade. I don't know why that's blue. That will need to be red. Let's flip that over. All right, let's go through the mag. See where we're at. All right, Apple gapping up. Let's go. Let's go. Guess who was buying down here? All right, beautiful gap up on Apple. All right, happy about that. I'm a happy man. Breaking out above this key level now for 16. So now I'm looking, if Apple can take up 25s, and then we're looking for all-time high, baby. Let's go. All right, that's worked out pretty nice. So a back test on Apple, sort of 216, 215s would be nice, and then reload the boat for that push. Amazon gapping down slightly, but starting to find a base yesterday. All right, so you can see Amazon basing out. Same kind of question. Can it hold 216s for that rotation back up? All right. Goog gapping up above previous day highs, is about to break out of all-time highs. Let me just check. Yeah, that is your all-time high. So Goog 199.20, you know the number, right? 200. It's simply looking for 200. If you're swing long in Goog, and you're looking for extension, you're looking for a 200 break, and you want to be taking some money off into those 206, 205s, and then you can hold for 210. And then it depends if you're, thinking about a new high on the year, you can keep holding some runners. Looks good. Looks good on the Goog. Meta, same story. Strength. All right. Big drive up. Sideways we go. Potential flag here. Let's just dial this down a little bit. Yeah, trying to build out a flag to go high right now in Meta. Looks good as well. Holding its gains pretty well in this session, gapping up. Not through previous day high yet, not through the all-time high, but not far away either. Microsoft. Bit more of a trickier chart here. Pinned high here. Clear support here. Higher low here. It's in a battle range here from 38 to 20. rotation here. If it can reclaim this, it can do it. If we sweep this, have a look what other structure is, then we might come and clean some of this out. It seems unlikely to me. Looks pretty good. So just building consolidation and range before the next move there. Nvidia gapping up as ever, as always, gapping up. There's your PDC, there's PDH, here's your gap. Any pullback that holds either these levels on Nvidia or down here, all right, you're looking for what? Right here, all-time highs. All right, this is all because Trump said it's not going to be tariffed, right? So Nvidia and Apple passed the check to not be tariffed right now. Tesla, nice gap up. No, nice drive yesterday, I should say. Gapping up. It's building liquidity like this. You want to be a little bit careful. It doesn't need to do this first, possible. But you're starting to see again, same kind of thing. We talked about this base in and around 500. So it swept it, reclaimed it, coming back up. Does it hold this? Once we get over this, it's go time at this point because these are sat there waiting to be hit. That's kind of it on the mag. Let's have a look at the VIX, which is just dripping lower. All right, coming into some key levels. Let's just zoom out a little bit. You can see right here, VIX coming into these key levels. So if we get a bid off here and a return into, let's say, 17s to 18s and 19s, then the market might offer that pullback. If we just keep dripping and dripping and dripping and dripping down, right, then the market's going to keep doing the same thing, pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping with a grind. Once we get down here, you want to be cautious, right? We've had 2 goes of breaking that. Reaction, reaction. Maybe we get reaction, maybe we break underneath, reclaim, maybe we dump. I don't know. I'm not here to predict the market. I just know the levels that we're looking at. How long we got? A couple minutes here. Let me just check that 1 second, folks. What is this level playing off? Oh, it's an old high. I don't care about you. Let's just move him in here. Next imbalance isn't till up here over previous week value area high. So I'll be watching to see if we get acceptance up there. Okie dokie. All right, patience at the open, please, folks. It's going to require some patience for sure. All right, might be due a pullback here. And then we have to see where, if and where we absorb it. Remember the triggers. That sort of 80 and 75 can be the trap or trigger. So right here, let's just put a little box in. All right, this, we're going to do this is grey, just so we remember it. All right, that's sort of key. And if we're going to dunk under that, we come down to 500, which is this blue. All right, so if we get stuck under here, there's a rotation. It can also trap under there. It might not even need to do the trap. All right, so many shorts are in trouble right here this morning. Let's see who is in the chat. Let's get this up. End the poll. Let's get on track here, folks. Do me a favor, smash that like button nice and early. All right, who's in here this morning? Market open 30 seconds. Morning, everyone. Morning, John, Clint, Thumper, Christy, Miguel, Ken, Toby, Glenn, Raphael, Jesse, Chris, Ortani, Richard, Calypso, ERF, Aga, Sergio, John, Coop, DK, Myron, Mike Light, Tibor, Brandon, Peter, Mike, Willa Williams, Eva, Paul, Bart, Leron, Larry, Owen, Silem, Kim W, Marek, Ryan, good to have you back, buddy, and Jeff. Morning, everyone. Okie dokie. Market's open. Let's just let it settle down for a second, see what we get here. What did most of you say on the thing as well? So 46% of you think pumping to all-time highs. 41% of you saying no idea, but let's make some money. Hey, I quite like that one. And 12% saying a short for the gap fill. Short for the gap fill. Okay. Do I have my water? I'm going to grab my water here. Not in a rush to trade this morning. Be right back. Okay, coming into that trigger box here. See that grey box? That's your sort of trigger box. You want to be watching that. It's kind of, I don't know how to call it, basically an under over. Yeah, it's basically an under over box. And they can trap in there if they want. ES2 VWAP right now. We didn't go over the liquidity on the book, did we? Let's have a look. Jesus, all these fills coming and flying in this morning. All these all overnight. I don't know. Let's get rid of them. Liquidity on the book. Some buyers down at 562. Bit of selling up at 650. Not much else. ES finding a bid off VWAP right now. Here's your New York opening print retest. Let's get an anchor on as well. Big old drive there. There we go. All right, just let it settle, folks. Okay, let it settle down. We're in a sort of range up here that we've been in since 5:45 this morning. All right, we've been stuck above this sort of Globex highs, just going sideways. So just let it build out. We're holding on to those London highs for now. Market could do with a pullback. Whether it gives it or not is a whole nother thing. Exuberant market. Let's have a look. Apple, over 2% up. Amazon, 1/3% up. Google, 0.40% up. Meta, 0.07% up. Microsoft just over 1/4% up. Nvidia 1.36% up. Tesla down on the day. So nice response from ES there on its VWAP. And momentum's been fantastic to the upside. Our location right now is not great to the upside, is it? Because we're extended very, very high near supply. Our location is not too great. Where did this go? Let's just drag this out to the open. Just want to make sure. So never even got to this grey box. So they protected it. They have protected it. And this is in a big old pump right now, isn't it? So ES has cleaned out some internal liquidity. Look for a break on ES of 13s. That might get you to 17s. Those highs are a little bit further away. NQ relative strength right now. All right, relative strength in the Qs. Coming and testing this old high that we put in overnight at the moment. Let's just see. Would have loved if this had come into here and trapped. That would have been much, much better for us. Maybe we want to take out those highs. ES nowhere near them. Nowhere near them. MAG all green now, all looking green. So let's wait now, see what they do with this. Are they going to come all the way back down on a rotation, or are they going to hold this New York print and VWAPs for that drive higher? Getting stuck in supply there. You can see the red box still holding up. The top of it is your overnight high. Let's get that nice and accurate. All right. So watching this New York open and VWAP to see if they hold or if they're going to go deeper rotation into this level here. Remember, this is the trigger box. Under here, they either trap or they retest it, fail, and we come all the way down here for a deeper move. VIX right now just trading sideways at 16s. Can I turn this down a bit? It's pretty bright, that light. Oh, that's better. All right, holding New York open, holding VWAP for now. Very early in the session, folks. Don't be forcing anything. All right, don't be forcing anything. We're still just in that range that I said we've been in for, I don't know, best part of 3 hours right now. Here's your reattempt to move higher. Still holding that New York open. It's not an ideal buying location here right now. All right, ideally we get move down. One of these would be amazing. That would be fantastic. But this is point of control from overnight right now. So I'm still watching this sort of same level, 580s, to see if and how we respond here. Does this offer the short back down lower and we'd be taking partials in here? Or is there a trap underneath it that we absorb to just rip straight back up? Thank you. Sorry, missed some of you here on the mornings, didn't I? Good morning, Jeff. Morning, Danny. Morning, Firewater. Morning, Peter. Morning, Tyson. Okay, back into this New York Open. So right now, pretty tight range, just 50 points, which is decent, but given that recently we've been in, like, 100 points out of the open, market just calming itself down. It will require patience today. The best buying opportunity will be a deeper pullback, right? The best buying opportunity will be like maybe an RBS retest, or maybe they do gap fill. I actually wouldn't like them to do gap fill. Rather they hold some levels above than do a gap fill. Gap fill gives bears more of a sniff, I think. So if we're going to go higher, kind of don't want it to fill the gap. Do we have more news here? I feel like there's not more news and I've totally forgotten that. Should have gone over it. Let's have a little look. Pretty sure there is. Yes, 10 o'clock. Wholesale inventories 10 o'clock and the Fed, Bostic's talking. Fantastic. And consumer credit later will be long gone by then. So 10 o'clock we'll be watching for. All right, still just trapping sideways here. Still, this market's trying to get through its overnight high. Still unable to do it. Lots of liquidity here in the 30s right now. So it might be trying to have that attempt now to push through. Here we go. Peaked that New York session. Hasn't got through, what's that top level? 40s. Trying to get to the top of this 40s. Shame we didn't trap down here, but we're holding New York. So let's just see. Let's see if we build out, if we break out and hold above, or if we do a fail breakout and we can think about rotation. All right. And we've got supply all the way up here. I want to make sure I've got that marked out correctly. I have. Okay. So we're watching if we drive previous week value area high and supply all the way up here. Top of this is liquidity sat from overnight. So stop run on those overnight shorts will be 40s. Right, which is coming up. Don't be surprised if you see a failed breakout up here as well. All right, so don't be like just chasing in. There's your liquidity sweep on that 40s. Yes, trying to get going here. This thing's in a pumper. It is in a pumper. Yeah, SPX, SPY behind because tech's doing all the work, right? If you look at the strong ones today, it's Nvidia and Apple because of the announcement on the tariffs. Right, they're not going to be tariffed on their chips, so they are flying right now because the whole market had been slowing them down because they were worried about tariffs. Yesterday, if you see the interview with Tim Cook and Trump, there was a little bit of, how should we call it? A little bit of ball tickling going on. It's the best way of calling it, isn't it? You scratch my back, or you scratch my balls, I'll scratch yours. That was definitely what it felt like. Okay, reattempt up here at 40s. Has it got any juice? Has it got any juice today? And how far up are we going to go? Is there any liquidity higher? So seller keeps coming in here trying to hold price down. There isn't much higher. Maybe they're waiting for that 10 o'clock. How long we got? 20 minutes. Like I said, momentum upside, location not ideal. We would have loved a trap this morning down there in those 80s. Would have been good. Would have been good. Might still play out, especially with ES not looking that strong here. Yes, AMD looking good. Like we said, the earnings are really good. Once they get those, it's just got to wait to get what. There's one chip it's waiting for the White House to sign off on and approve. The same chip that has pumped Nvidia to the moon. And once that gets out of the way, once that's approved, I think it's go time. It's go time on AMD. Bull's still looking good as well, holding gains well. All right, back to the New York Open. Remember, we're still watching for down here, how we react down here. Either a bear trap under here or bears take control for a rotation down to this level. That's what I'm sort of looking at the moment. Make that a bit thicker, shall we? Yeah, VIX just found a bid, didn't it, on 16s, in front of 16s, up to 1630. Yes. SPY down to lower time frame algo. ES coming down to its VWAP again. All right, this is like areas where this market needs to trap in. We'd like a bigger flush on the NQ. Not so we can short, just so we can have an idea of what we're going to do next. Meta going red here, Microsoft going red here, Tesla going red here. Google just closed its gap as well. So do these find bids on the gap fill for tech? Nice, Tyson. No, good reaction. Still holding that New York Open. Yes, still in ahead of VWAP right here. Still no trade for me. Hey, Bella, how's it going? Everyone give Bella a good morning. She's the one that makes sure you all get looked after when you win the competitions for your Apex. All right, still just building in this range. Your opening range now set on the day. That opening range is 66 points today. Still sat at that New York Open. ES coming back into its VWAP. Here's your opening range. Remember, this grey box is the area where they will either trap bears or bears will take control for a rotation down to 500s. This is the area. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, some positive developments there. We'll see. ES under VWAP. ES starting to sell more aggressively here. Oh, I've got fails on my limit orders here. Has it just fat fingered me in? Oh, it has. Fantastic. So it failed the limits and fatted it in. Never mind. Trying to get a limit up at New York Open, and instead it wouldn't fill. And it's put me on a market, so just close that out. Let's reset this trade. There we go. All right, watching ES into VWAP, watching your opening ranges. Remember, these are the trap levels here. Want to be careful if they start letting go of this. There's a rotation to 500. If they dunk down here and reclaim it, then this will be the bear trap. All right, so this is what we're watching now. Look at the book. So this is the edge. The reason I'm saying this is the edge of the volume. All right, so we've just come under the volume. If we protect this, we will do a rotation all the way back up. If they're going to sell aggressively through this on a retest, we're going to come and test the next level of volume, which would be down here. All right, so any trap can live below here, and you will know that's a trap by a reclaim. So if we do something like this, okay, then you will know bears have forced their way in down here for the upside move. If we reject like this, we're going down to 500. Those are the only opportunities right now in this market. Nice, Tyson. Very nice. Yeah, that engulfing can always be added. That's just momentum coming in the chart. Plenty of time here. Starting to try and reclaim here. It's reclaiming opening range. ES is below its VWAP. NQ is above its VWAP, so you have some divergence there in the tape. Google, Meta, Microsoft, Tesla all gone red on the session. Morning, Hector. VIX still driving almost into its gap now. So it's got PDL, PDC above on the VIX. Yes, much weaker here. Yes, might want to come and test 90s, 91, 92. If it's going to get a refresh short back down. The Q's not playing ball. This is what I was saying. This is the trap area. This grey box was the trap area. This is their decision point. What you're now watching New York Open. And those 600s, is it? Yeah, 600s. And if they squeeze through that, then it all depends if they've got a sufficient amount trapped in that M1 candle. It's not a big move down, but if shorts have come flying in. I was trying to originally get a limit order here to re-short back down, but I don't like it now that we've already done the sweep. Watching ES into VWAP here will be key. If they start reclaiming VWAP and we start reclaiming New York, then we're just going to start flying. Into our anchor VWAP. Can I change the color of this, please? There we go. So it looks like they trapped sufficiently there. You're still just in range, but I would say that grey box played out. and we're going upside now, right? So we're looking for that squeeze upside at this moment. And it all depends if they're going to protect the high. ES trying to get going. Midpoint of your range in your orb right now. Sellers are at 50s. So if the next pullback into sort of New York starts to hold, I'd be very cautious. If you were one of the people taking shorts, you should have been taking partials this morning on that move up. Sort of stuck here in this imbalance, this decision point of whether it gets a continuation squeeze or if this is a lower high. So you're just in the midpoint of the range here. Oh, I would have really liked to have taken this trap, but did it in seconds, literally. Happened in seconds. So back down towards that New York Open. And this is the question here. Do they put in a high low here? Or is that a lower high and they're just going to dunk it? This is a decision point now for this market as it continues to trap. And ES is still not through its VWAP, right? So relative weakness still in the ES right now. Tesla still red, Microsoft still red, Meta still red, Google still red. The rest all green. If we put a flag in here and we go, then we should take out the highs. If they fail here underneath New York, they're going to rotate right back down to that low of day. So your midpoint of the session, they're trying to do that flag. They want to try and do that flag. ES is trying to get going here. If we get going here, we should take out the highs of day, and then we can think about that move all the way up into the next level of supply or key level, which would be up here. So it's decision point in here. They are battling in here over what next. SPY not through its VWAP. ES is now through its VWAP. Qs are through the VWAP. Relative strength here in the Qs. Just kind of feels a bit stuck in a holding pattern. Come on, market. Let's get going. Let's get going upside if we're going to do it. If that was enough of a trap, let's get going. Here we go. Go then. Go, go, go. No. Stop, start, stop, start. Reloading on the tape there at 37s and 50s. Maybe now it's time. I want to see ES reclaim its flow zones and lower time frame algo. I do not like that it's below those right now. Major divergence. ES, very weak. Very weak. Going to make trading hard if the divergence continues. Remember, it's Nvidia and Apple dragging the market up right now. What are we seeing here? People gunning for the gap fill after taking overnight highs might be enough to fuel. I mean, I think the fuel was down here, right? It was down here because if you do volume from a whole overnight session, this was a shelf and we protected that low volume node. It's exactly what we went over pre-market. If we dunk into here, sweep these players out, protect that node, then there's a good chance we go rotation higher and we're going to search for higher timeframes. The thing is, the relative weakness in the ES and the spiders is going to make it high because it means we've not got a condition where we're buying in all markets. So we're just in a balance here. So other than that fat finger in when I try to place a limit, and for some reason, I don't know, I think it's that enhanced trader or whatever. Sometimes when I drag my buy click, it doesn't put it where I want, or sell click. Session volume profile, SVP session volume profile. So that's volume on the session so far. Yeah. The edge of session is basically 650s because that's where we've traded up to a high of, and there's nothing above it because in the New York session We haven't traded above it. Oh, what is that? It's got to be a news candle, is it? Something's been said. That was a quick reaction. Not seeing anything. Maybe just someone stuck. We're facing very challenging situations due to US tariffs and cannot predict the duration. That's from the Swiss minister. That might have been what it is. All right, highs coming here, folks. So breakout, fail breakouts are here now. These are your levels. Delete that. Oh, man. Might be a nothing burger day if we don't offer that pullback. This is starting to play out now, though. That flag. Here's your high of day. Market now all going green. So all in alignment now. All of the MAG are now green. Is there follow through, though? VIX now fading back inside. Didn't quite make it to PDL. It is on a key level, though. Why is my anchor moving? Mate, Ninja is on one today. 31. Okay, new hard days. Yes, trying to get going. Yes, it's trying to get going. So that level 700s. It's the retest of the orb there. It held. Lots of absorption here from sellers. You can see it on the tape. At 96 lot, 173 lot. I think we want to get up to 700s. It's just your location to buy is not good. So the only participants in probably are swing traders right now. I'm not convinced that move this morning down was enough to entice enough shorts in. It was so quick. It was so quick. Still holding the orb here. A collapse here would just take us right down to midpoint. So you want to see them hold this orb if they're going to extend and try and get up into here. But it's iffy. Even looking at ES, the whole thing sniffs of traps both sides. I'm not convinced right now. I'm really not convinced. Tick chart doesn't look very pretty either. Nothing looks pretty right now. Range on the current session, 88 points. Not bad, to be honest. It's not bad. Can we get some alignment where SPY starts breaking out? We need SPY above 637s. For ES, we need it above 414, 415s. Ideally above 417s for that drive to try and take out that overnight high. So that's the weakness. ES is nowhere near the overnight high. Is this market going to get going today? Here we go. Are we going to get going now? We've held the orb. Is there any follow through in this market? Can we get up towards the 700s? There's 70s. It's a good start. See, every push is being sold into. So if you're long in this, you've got to be careful with your stops. You've got to be careful taking money, right? I'm long off the flag break on the orb, but I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced right now. Refresh seller there. 75s and then 700s. We need to get through 75s to get through 700s. There's a refresh seller up here over and over and over again. This is the problem. It hasn't offered a good buying opportunity. The momentum was there. This here, I don't know who's bought that there, but like, that's the trap we were talking about. By what? A tick? I mean, you needed to see it do this. That would have been a good buying opportunity. That's why I'm unconvinced right now. There's the sweep. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I'm unconvinced. ES cannot get through 14s. All right, they're going to build out more liquidity. I'm just going to chill here for a minute. Wait to see. Let's get rid of you, sunshine, because you are nothing now. Save your trade to break even there, John. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's very hard. Like the buying location is much, much lower right now. And I don't want to short against this until it proves, right? So for me, the short really is going to be underneath 580, where it breaks down, retests it, stays heavy. So I don't want to be guessing the tops. Even bulls really want a better pullback. If we just think about this. All right, what we've done. There's the drive yesterday. Here's with the close yesterday. Here's the walk up overnight. The best location for bulls to be buying is probably like here or some trap in here. They don't really want to buy here. And I'm not convinced that was enough of a move here to get them involved. It happened so quickly. So the location really to be buying is probably here, maybe even down here if it offers it for a gap fill closure. This is previous day value area high. If we held that, then we can think about rotation. But right now, I mean, I tried a little scout, but it's more than that is hard to think about. But we are in grind higher. We are in a grind higher mode. With divergence, all right, with divergence. ES back to VWAP, SPY underneath VWAP, Qs and NQ above it. This feels like we've gone back a week, right? We've gone back a week now to when the alignment just doesn't exist in the market, and that's because of hesitation. It's because no one knows what's happening again with the tariffs. There's too much like unknowns, so then we get this divergence. ES looks very weak here. If it can't hold a bid down here, it's going to be in trouble. Mag still all green. As a whole, you're 0.75% up on the mag, right? As an average between the 7 weighted equally. Momentum still upside, divergence still on the tape. Still possible target of 700, and then all the way up here if it really gets going today, which will be the test of supply from whenever we put it in, right here. Thursday last week, so a week ago. What was the volume on that push? I'm not convinced by that. That is not a blow off top. We'll just see, folks. We've had a really nice week. We've had 3 absolute bangers this week. So let's just be patient, eh? Let's be patient. Not every day is going to provide the same opportunities. No biggie, Ryan. Well done cutting it. No biggie, mate. Okay, here's VWAP. ES looks so weak here. ES attempting to break down low of day. MAG all green. Said I disconnected there. You guys still hear me and see me? OBS has given me. I've got something funky going on this morning. Please, I don't want a tech issue day. I've had a really good week. Don't give me a tech issue day, market or computer. And again, OBS telling me it keeps disconnecting. I don't think it is. I can see the stream and I don't think it's disconnecting. Okay, back to the opening range high again. ES protecting the low of day, trying to reclaim the VWAP. SPY not through the VWAP. Major divergence still at play. Still think this wants to try and go through to 700s. It's just, can it do it? I'd feel more convinced if ES was breaking out upside, which it is not. Yeah, that's great, Ryan. Good discipline. $6.13s. Okay. Still just waiting. Divergence still there. ES still looks like it's attempting to sweep the lows here. VIX starting to find a bid. Now 1640s. VIX might want a gap fill. Qs are going to be tough to trade today because if the market's going to be weak and we're looking for shorts, the Qs are going to be very hard to trade because they have relative strength. Here's low of day coming on the ES. All right, watch for a sweep and a turn back inside as well on ES. You need to be cautious of. Here's your point of control from overnight. Right here, right now. ES retesting that low it just broke down from. Attempting to reclaim it there on ES, attempting to hold its imbalance of that gap up on the spiders. Starting to reclaim. Still not through VWAP though. Just requires so much patience on days like this. If you look at the difference between these two charts, this chart and ES right here, look at ES just swept the lows, right? And it's possibly going to come and test down here. And this is what I was talking about. This would be like maybe your RBS zone on ES, all right? And then maybe we see like a reaction like that. NQ, nowhere near it, all right? Remember, that is the equivalent of down here, right? We are nowhere near it. Right, it's a major divergence. So if you're going to be short today, you probably want to be short ES. And if you're going to be long, you probably want to be long NQ. That's probably going to be the way it plays out. Book's starting to clear out here. Let's have a look at this hourly and 4 hour. I want to be careful here on this hourly as well, because we've taken the high. This is always the short that I'm looking for. This hourly has taken the high, has gone red on the session. It's going to attack the last low. It's going to attack that 70s. And that will be a 4 hour low. All right. And then if it traps under there, it's going to go back upside. If it stays heavy under there, it's going to reprice all the way down to the 500s like we talked about. Yes, very heavy now. Tricky, 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 tricky. Almost taking that hourly low already. So we've gone from hourly high almost to the previous hour low already. In what? 3-4 candles? ATR is only 29. It's not huge right now. What do you mean on the week? I mean, we've done the weekly move. We're over the weekly implied move, if that's what you mean in ATR. Kind of gross. So this is your new hourly high. Sweeps the previous hour, comes back down, hasn't taken the low yet. Almost there, hasn't taken it. I would almost expect this to take it now. It's come that deep. Again, the relative strength. ES just looks awful. Looks like it's going to test that PDH kind of level we just talked about. And it's already into that level we talked about on ES, that consolidation level. Book seems pretty thin. Let's have a look at ES. Is there anyone beneath? Not really. So we're underneath New York Open now. Have not swept that previous hour and 4 hour low, or the orb low. Remember, that's where the traps can live. We've got a VWAP sat right there as well. I'm still not interested in this market yet. I still think it's trapping both sides. I still think we're out of sync in the market. Here's your drive back up to VWAP. So reclaiming. Remember, this is the trap level. This, if we think about this, this was the close, and this is the open of a new 4 hour. We sweep it. If we sweep this side, right, then all we're doing is taking both sides of the market out. Here's your New York Open again, that blue line on the screen. New York Open again, VWAP. Stuck between the New York VWAP and the 24-hour VWAP. New York VWAP, 24-hour VWAP. We are building liquidity, absolutely building liquidity here. You must have some patience today. We've been on a big old pump. Bulls are in control, but are enough bears stuck in this market to send us higher? Remember, we won't go higher off bulls buying highs. They will not do it. And everything's flat. All the flow zones are flat. New York, both VWAPs, lower time frame algo. We're stuck really when you think about it. 20s to, let's just call it 80s. Basically a 40-point decision range here. It will come. It will come. Something will come. Ideally, we come back down here and we either sweep it, back test it, stay heavy, or go underneath, reclaim, and then we go for longs up here. One or the other. I don't really care which. I just want to see who's in control. Still stuck in this range. 15 minutes until the initial balance is set. We're in a 101-point range so far this morning total. And these 40 points we're in here are pretty key. We're boxed in, right? Just inside the opening range. We're boxed in. No confirmation outside of it. No breakdowns. No breakouts and holds. Just boxed in. And the key part is here. This is the key part of the box at the moment. Yes, new lower day here again. We still haven't swept that hourly and 4-hour low on NQ, which is where the traps can live. But I'm just watching that. If you look at an hourly or a 4-hour chart, we've taken the high. Are we now going to take the low is the question. Yes, kind of feels like it wants to test previous day high. All right, I'm just going to use the bathroom here. Be right back. Give it time to build out. All right, still no change. Still no change. Jeez, man. Come on, market. It's like consolidation. Question is, do we distribute with this consolidation downside for that higher time frame sort of pullback leg? Or is this going to be some form of accumulation? I wouldn't be surprised if we accumulate here, if the next leg produces some form of manipulation, given that we have not rebalanced much. Time will tell. It just does not want to come and sweep out those hourly and 4-hour lows, and it might not need to. No, just one fat finger RAF, which has cost me $24. That's all. I took it off as soon as I realized. But yeah, nothing else. Oh, that's a lie. So I took a long at the orb. So I was probably down more than that on the fat finger then and made a bit back. So that's a lie. Let me have a look at my executions. I can tell you. No, I can't because Chart Trader won't do it. Man, enhanced Chart Trader, as much as I like it for switching from micros to minis, it feels a little bit buggy. Definitely feels buggy when I have it on. Anyone that uses it, I do like it for the move between micros and minis. That's why I like it, so I don't have to redraw my charts. But it's definitely a little bit buggy on the orders. Okay, we're still stuck here, right? There's your 24-hour VWAP. There's your New York VWAP. There's your New York Open. This is the 4-hour low, right? And this is the 4-hour high. You got to think that 4-hour is not even 100 points, right? So we consolidated for well over 4 hours now. Did anyone else use that? What's it called? Something indicators. I want to say cheap, but it's not called cheap indicator. Affordable indicators. I'm using enhanced trader, and so I really like it for switching from minis to micros. But yeah, it's definitely a bit buggy sometimes. Definitely. Affordable indicators. That's it, Clint. Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, just occasionally buggy on that that buy click and sell click. Don't know. Sometimes it just drags it onto the screen where I haven't put it. I have. It's just too buggy. I quit using it. Same issues you're having. Yeah, it's a bit annoying. When it works well, it's so good. It's so good. You know, especially if I just quickly want to like flip between micros and minis, it's so useful. Okay, new low here on ES. NQ still holding up well. Question is, do they bear flag this, sweep this? Do they trap under that, reclaim, then go for highs? Or do we get continuation, right? Do they do this or do they do this? That's kind of the question at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mostly good. I would say mostly good. Mostly good. Very useful for flipping between screens. Well, not flipping between screens, just flipping between contracts. That's a better way of putting it, isn't it? Feels like they want to at least come and sweep these lows at the moment, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't feel like it has to do it. I mean, it's just left it again. It's crazy, NQ, what it's doing here. And it's no interest in taking any of this out. It's going to be an impossible trader today, I feel. At some point, it's going to do a really horrible move because there's going to be so many people stuck in this. It's hard to say. I wouldn't want to be either side in this right now, to be honest. I wouldn't want to be long trying to bid it up here. And I wouldn't want to be guessing tops either. So, no, not really. Erin, not really. Because it's the same thing, right? It's the sideways move is consolidation. And what happens next dictates that. You would normally say it's bullish consolidation, but I would say, you know, it might well need to come back to here. The NQ is, like I said, it's going to be very hard to trade NQ downside today. Because look at ES now. It's almost at previous day high. ES is down here, right? ES is all the way down here. So you've got relative strength in the Qs. So you don't really want to be short the Qs. You probably want to be looking for longs in the Qs today. Yep, it's possible, Mike Light. Definitely possible. The book's not one-sided either. You can see they're just both sides. So ES almost at PDH. If it gets to PDH, if it wants to close the gap, then it can come to 371s. So ES already giving back a lot of pre-market games, coming into after hours levels now on the spiders. PDH about to be hit here. VWAP just tagged. These are the levels. Remember, these are the important levels we're into now, Globex and stuff. If we get under here, back test it, stay heavy, there is a rotation back down to 500. If they go under here, reclaim it, find bids, then we're going to go back up for high of day. These are the levels that we've been waiting for all morning. This is the exact level, the grey box. What we do here now is important. ES coming into previous day high here, folks. Yes, really nice. Just doing exactly what you'd want it to do. How many times do we say that? All right, so that's the breakdown. So liquidation break. And if they reclaim here and we go upside, if they stay heavy versus that level we broke down from, we're going to go 500s. And if they do that, you probably imagine ES will go to PDC if we do that. Struggling to break down under 60s here. Shouldn't really struggle this much. We are in thin volume here. There's a tiny little node at 50s, but let me have a look. Really, if we're going to stay heavy here, really, I'd expect it to come down towards the 500s, maybe even 488s. Right, if we're going to stay heavy here, I'm thinking of it coming down to here, and then I'd be very careful. If you're shorting this, I'd be taking partials as we move into here, because if bulls want to hold this, they can. If they want to drift lower, then we're going to come into this block here. Remember, if you're short on NQ today, it's the harder trader. All right, and if they trap and reclaim here, be very careful. This is exactly what we went through earlier in the session. So if retests stay heavy, if you build out like a bear flag here, you're looking for a rotation down into these levels and then these levels. If they reclaim this, all right, then this will be a bear trap because everyone's getting short under 570s. If they reclaim this and start pushing higher, then you're going to attack high of day. No, I can't. Yeah, thanks, love. IB about to be set here in 3 minutes as well. So people like Tyson, who play the initial balance, either expansion or reversals, the IB rotation or IB expansion, or however you want to put that, the auction or failed auction, it's coming up. It is coming up. Do you want me to zoom this out for you so you can see the levels more? All right, I'd also be watching 511s, which is the top of this. So I've got it drawn out for you there. And then really 44s down here. ES testing, it's back testing PDH now. It stays heavy on PDH, it probably goes PDC on ES. It's not too far away. Your gap fill is 6,371. Your low of day is 6,375. Your PDH back test it just did is into 80. So decision time. It is decision time. Bostic talking at the moment. I thought they were talking later. I didn't know they were talking now. I thought that was scheduled for later. Maybe I got that wrong. I did get it wrong. They are scheduled for now. All right, be careful if they reclaim here. So this is the key level now. Shorts need to take control here to get your rotation to 500. If they fail to get control here, this will be a failed auction effectively, and we will trade upside and squeeze everyone out. So it's going to be very hard both sides here, given that ES has got so close to the gap fill and didn't do it. It makes it a little tricky to think about a trap. So this is either the location where shorts take control for a rotation to 500, or if we start reclaiming, it is where shorts will get stuck underneath. You now have your initial balance set. You out? What time are you at? Oh, yeah. All right. Did you walk her? Oh, come on. Okay. All right. Okay, nice reaction off there for now. Sorry, I missed that now. So if you're short in here, you'd be taking partial low of day and then holding for these moves here, 500 and down here. So that was timing and a half. That's why you can't get distracted when you trade. You can see on the book there's a buyer at 25s. All right, which would be previous week open. There is a buyer there. Do they want to fill that guy at 25s? Does ES want to go for gap fill? I think that's the question right now. If ES goes for gap fill, we probably go 25s. If we reclaim the sort of 80s, I'd be very cautious about a short. So maybe some of you were in that while I was talking. We just talked about this bear flag building to here. Might offer a short location back down to there. And any reclaim will be a trap. Any reclaim will be a trap. There's your initial balance test. It's kind of odd that based on the higher time frame that they don't want to, this is just showing the strength, right? Based on the higher time frame, given the overnight, it's kind of odd that they're not letting it rotate here. It's like this is volume building at the moment, but really, you know, sort of under 60s, you would think that they'd come and at least dig into some of this. If they reclaim, then we're going to go right back upside, which they're starting to do now. There you go. So these are the levels. You know that these are the battle zones. And look at this squeeze straight back up to where we talked about this trigger is. So if they reclaim this, shorts underneath will get trapped. This very, very tricky on NQ. It's very hard to time this given what's going on at ES. ES has just reclaimed PDH, but has not filled its gap after getting pretty down close, I'd say. VIX has filled its gap, by the way, folks. I missed that. Must have missed my alert. So PDL, PDC both filled on the VIX, building out more liquidity here sideways while we make a decision if we're going to reclaim 80s and squeeze for new highs, or if we're going to fail underneath the initial balance and give a rotation back down to the sort of 500s, 460s. I need a refill on coffee. Probably shouldn't go and get that given what happened last week. It's like in my head now. Hey, congratulations, Miguel. Happy birthday to your daughter. Is it a big birthday? Like a big year? I've got to turn this aircon off, man. I don't care if this moves. I'm going to eat it. It's fine. All right. What are we doing, Qs? What are we doing? Are we going upside now? What are we doing? What are we doing? Back to VWAP. Back to this same area here. This is your over-under dance area. So I'll be short bias all the time. We're under here. Once we reclaim it, then I'd be probably be long bias. Short bias just down to these areas for a rebalance. Then I'd be long bias somewhere down here. VWAP again for the millionth time. You can see they're trying to fill here sell side. 75, 80, 85, 90. Just trying. We know it's a big area. Can see it. Tesla and Meta, the only ones green. As a whole, we're up 0.32%. So, you know, we were up 0.74% earlier. So we've given a decent chunk back on the Mag 7. Anyone who wonders what I'm talking about, I did a video at the weekend on that, on how you can look at them very quickly as a whole, as if they're equally weighted. All right, as if they're equally weighted. So ES looks like it's bear flagging here for a breakdown. It's going to test its initial balance. NQ attempting to do the same. That player at 30s is still there. The 25 players left, but the player at 30s is still there. We are still protecting that level so far. I just see that 17. Congrats, man. I had to get it right. You're right. I had to go and get the coffee. I was freezing as well. My aircon was blasting. I wouldn't be surprised if Luna comes and headbutts me to take her out in a bit, because my wife said before she just left for work, Luna refused to go for a walk this morning. So I don't know if she's in pain or just tired. So I have to bear that in mind. All right. You can see the book's wiggling around a little bit here. There's a buyer trying to absorb it, 52 lot, and a seller trying to absorb it, 62 lot. So between 50 and 65, there's a battle going on. You can see it on the book map above me. You see the purple, this right here and this right here. So buyers are trying to absorb here at 50, sellers trying to absorb there at 65. And we've got bids and offers both sides of the tape right now. So it's not like one directional, like we know we're just coming down here or we know we're just going up here. And look, they're starting to pull. So there's games, lots of games going on. And see, they pulled their orders and then put them back on as it moved away from them. And see, they pulled it again as it came down to them. All right, so we know, and they pulled it again. So there's spoofing on the tape today. Lots of spoofing on the tape down here, folks. Lots and lots and lots of spoofing on the tape. That means it's not a real buyer, which is a bit worrying, because he doesn't actually want to bid. No, he's just pulled it again. Totally legal. Totally legal. Nothing wrong with that at all. Good luck proving that. Still holding the IB. No attempt at an auction under it. So no auction, no failed auction. Just basically that IB low. I mean, we've whipped it by, you know, a point. I don't consider that a failed auction. I don't even consider it an attempt. And do we want to rebalance? There are wicks here at sort of 40s, right, on the H1. So if we rebalance, we can come down into like 515s, which should be sort of the midpoint of London. And what are these lot doing? Back to view up, back to that same level. This is the over-under level. This is the same level. How many attempts are they going to have up here? Here's the squeeze through. So are they going to now hold this and go all the way upside or not? Or are they just going to push and fail into the orb? Where is that orb? It's the top side of this grey box. Okay. Just make sure I've got it marked out. So that's what we're watching. Either a bear flag here, a rotation down, or a push up, a reclaim, and then a squeeze. Until then, not a lot we can do. Man, I would like to see them do a failed auction before they try and move upside here. Don't really just want to see it base here and go. I'd like to see an attempt of a failed auction, like a wick under this and then do it. Just so I know, like, we get more shorts chasing in and then do that move. bit like yesterday we talked about, we want to see a trap. If we're going to buy highs, we would need to see a trap, right? So for me, I want to see this come under here, then do this, then that, not just do this and that, because that's too dangerous for this move. Major battle down here. Let someone win, folks, all right? Just let them pick who's going to win, and then we'll join that winner. We'll join the winner when he's ready. Is there anyone lower? 30s. 725. Big order up there. Nice to get up there today. Okay, as a reminder, I think the TPT sale finishes in 2 days or 3 days' time, folks. So it's pinned to chat right now, 40% off, no activation fee. Plus, if you pass, take profit trader in your first month and get to payout, you will get the price you paid for that account back. So basically, you get it for free. Doesn't get much better than that. But I think it ends on the 10th. Maybe someone can confirm that. I remember off the top of my head, but use code FLOWZONE. That would get you 40% off, and the best deal always would take profit trader. For every other prop firm, you can use code TPT. If you want to try out some new prop firms which aren't pinned in chat, you can go to www.shoppropfirms.com, and all the best links are there. What are we doing in this chop? Building liquidity. Man, oh man. Well, the 4 hour worked. I was kind of a bit late on it. I don't know why my head was not on that today. This is like the perfect move, isn't it? 10 o'clock, take the highs, trap them. There we go. And there's your TP for the 4 hour low. So we've gone 1 to 1. I must have lost focus because that was a bit of a layup, to be honest. Explain why the 1031 candle cannot be reclaimed as a failed auction confirmation, please. 1031 candle. 31. Oh, it's initial balance. It's just an initial balance. So the initial balance trade, that's your IB. All right. So an auction theory will be outside of the initial balance. A failed auction will be inside the initial balance. So going under it, no acceptance of price under it, and a return back inside. We can also do it by holding the IB, but it's better to trap bears because bears will take shorts here. And then we come in and do this. An example of that would have been yesterday. Perfect example of an initial balance trend day. Back towards these 75s and 80s again then. This is just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. There's a free lesson on my page. Just go to how to trade initial balance. There's a free lesson on YouTube on it on my page. You can just watch that. Or if someone else wants to find it, you can just pin it in chat for my Mike Light. I always look at your name and I just think of DJ and I just think of MC Light. That's all I ever think of. MC Light in the place. Trading the NQ in your face. Right, what are we doing here? Garage voice, gun fingers. Come on, market. What are you doing? Let's do something. All right, attempting to reclaim that opening range now. This chop that we've done, though, is not making it look very pretty right now. Really is not. The tape looks ugly. The tape looks ugly. Let's have a look at the volume we've built out this first hour in the IB, shall we? Yeah, this is key. If we don't get acceptance below this, we can rotate POC and then highs. So it's lining up perfectly. Oh, here we go. Okay, you nasty buggers not doing the sweep first. Okay. Everything I didn't want. All I wanted was you to do a failed auction first. That's all I asked for, NQ. But no, you don't want to play bull today. You don't want to give A+ setups. You just want to give squeezes. Right, if they hold VWAP here, if they basically hold 75s, then I'm going to consider that everything under 75s is now trapped. It's not the ideal play, all right? So if they hold 75s, which they're not really doing, they're testing it now. If they hold this level, I'm going to consider everyone else trapped. But really, we want to see failed auction. So they've just trapped bulls there. This is nasty, 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 both sides. So they push through, no acceptance back into value, and now they're going to come down and try and take this again for the millionth time. This is, well, this is quite the action here of a lesson in how to trap both sides. This is why we just stay patient. So no acceptance back into value. Rejected this pretty hard. They actually let it through a little bit, so they rejected this low volume node. They should really come and attempt to sweep this, but you know what they should do and what they've been doing recently, or recently by this session, is pretty disgusting, right? It's pretty gross. They should come for those lows now, but they might well not, because they've not shown any like inkling of really dialing down and attacking those lows yet today. ES not breaking the lows either. Back to PDH here. So big level on ES as well. Still has gap fill potential on the ES. It's still not far away. For settlement, that is. Look at the book. They still want 30s. I think they want 30s here on the book. It's just, do they want to do it? Are they going to do it? Or are they just going to mess around? What are you doing? Feels like they might come for those 30s now. And then the question is auction or failed auction. ES wants that gap fill. All right, lower day on ES. It wants gap fill. It wants gap fill. So here's your IB. So either auction or failed auction theory coming right up. Ah, great. I can't get my limit in again. This is the second time today. Man, I might have to take this trader thing off, enhanced trader, whatever it is. Let's do a ninja reset here. Maybe that will fix it. In a second. Let's reboot. All right, so now we've swept and reclaimed. All right, so now if we get up here, it might actually trigger the squeeze because now we've trapped the shorts. So the problem is we just trapped bulls up here and we've just trapped shorts down here. I really wanted to bid against that on the reversal. I'm waiting for Ninja to reboot here. Oh, enhanced trader, you are a pain. You're going to cost me this trade, aren't you? You absolute quit. Okay, back to that same level. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. We didn't love the longs here until they do this move here. This is your failed auction. If they reclaim this now, if they get acceptance back inside value, then we can look for point of control and then we can look for highs, right? If they get acceptance back inside value. I don't like that ES keeps getting so close to filling that gap and not filling it. I will be honest. I really don't like that. Really do not like that. This is where we just failed from. So we're coming back where we just found sellers. We just found sellers up here. I would feel better about this trade in general if ES fills its gap. Then we get at least one asset that's completed its low-hanging fruit move. Still cannot get acceptance in value so far. So value of the session is here in New York. Cannot get acceptance in it. Which means these are open, but we did just sweep. But ES is weaker and hasn't closed its gap. All right, so ES 0.10% up on the day. NQ 0.61% up on the day. RTY 0.39% down on the day. YM 0.50% or 0.5% down on the day. So we have relative strength in the Qs by quite a considerable amount, which means the longs are going to be easier in the Qs and the shorts are going to be harder. Here goes ES back to initial balance. Is it now going to close its gap? Just go and close your gap because then everything gets a little bit easier. Hi, are you selling your course and Discord still? Yeah, all the links are down below. All the links are down below. Yeah, very trappy. We expect trap days on days like today. Why? Because to move higher, we need short stuck. And to move lower, we need bull stuck. Bulls have been in total control this whole week. It's Thursday, right? So bulls have been in control all week. Weekly model has taken effect, and we hit that daily Bollinger Band, which we went over the beginning of this session before pre-market. So back and forth, back and forth. At some point, there will be a bigger move. All right, at some point, there will be a bigger move. It cannot just keep doing this all day. At some point, a high time frame trader will take over. VIX looking pretty strong here. Holding PDC now, so I'd say breakout on VIX next level would be into 1710. So if it flags and breaks out, will be 1710. ES back at its IB. Just close your gap, ES. Just make it easier for us. SPY almost there. All right, gap fill on SPY will be into 32.78, basically. It's trading 33.10s right now. It's almost there. Gap fill on ES will be into 71. God, this is painful. Painful to watch. Oh. All right, filled the gap finally. ES finally filled the gap. Well, SPY did. ES actually didn't. SPY filled its gap. ES actually just teased it. All right, so starting to see some gap fill there. I'm brand new and I've never done this before. How much is your program and is there still a discount for $100? You can use code FZT. I think it will get you 10% off right now. %10 off. So you'll get the Discord, you'll get the 20-hour course, and you'll get the flow zones. So 2 variations of flow zones in there. But yeah, all the links down below, or some of the guys in chat might be able to help you out. No worries. Okay, PDC about to be tagged. There we go. Finally, ES tags PDC. Jesus, that took a long time. Okay, you can see some absorption on the tape here. Sellers trying to pile in here now on the queue. So if you're shorting this, well done. I've just stayed flat in this whole thing. You'd be watching now. We're into very, very low levels of liquidity from overnight. Where is OBS? So I can show you on the higher time frame. All right, we're into this level from overnight, right? So maybe we trade all the way down. Like we talked about, we can come into 500s, maybe into previous week point of control, maybe into previous day value area high. Like I'd be watching 500s. If we break down under 485, I'd be watching 444 and 422s today as your targets if we're going to go into a further sell. But we're into a low level of liquidity here. All right, very, very, this is a true imbalance. We're holding previous week open at the moment. All right, we're holding previous week open. So you have now true auction versus failed auction theory. And ES, very weak. All right, it's closed its gap. It's under its gap. So let that sink in of what we've just done. ES has given back the whole overnight move and is trading under it. Here is your initial balance retest. If we stay heavy here, we go for a leg down. If we reclaim this, this will be failed auction into that low level of liquidity, meaning we're protecting a low volume node, and we trade back upside with a trap. So it's back and forth. I would say see money, take money kind of environment until it proves otherwise. Flow on the day has been bearish in this session, right? 4 hour high, trap high, lower highs, lower lows. It had the ability to trap down here and go. It hasn't been able to do it yet. So maybe we're going to trade lower and try and find out if there are high time frame buyers anywhere down here. And if we fail that, we're going to test the next level lower. Okay, there's your initial balance rejection so far. So you need a new low of day here, right, for bears to take control. You will need a new low of day break for bears to take control. And you can see on the book, buyers are sat in the 500s where we talked about 520 to 500, which is right in this zone here that we had marked out pre-market. All right. Yeah, VIX starting to rip. That flag started to play out. All right. So the VIX level that we're looking for it to trade into, for those in Discord, just have a look in Discord. All right, 1715s. You can see there's supply there. It's an old low that we held. We pushed away from it to 1718s. We came back to it. We held it. We pushed away from it. We broke under it. Now we're coming back to retest it again. You cannot buy dips against this right now. Flow is bearish. We finally, this bear flag took forever to build out. I mean, 30 minutes of trapping both sides before finally doing this move. The only thing I'd be cautious of is on reclaims now. But you want to play what's in front of you, which is the IB plays right now. That's what you're playing. We are bouncing off previous week open right now. We're bouncing off a weekly level, but really we should trade downside at this point and come and test some of these areas, which is overnight liquidity. If we get through these areas, we can come all the way back down to 400 today and still be bullish on the charts, right? We can afford to drift all the way down to here if it wants, and then be bullish on the chart for a new go higher. Everything's to play for this week, right? Because we can still set a lower high here and wash. We just don't know. Don't want to get carried away here. The first 3 days this week were very high probability. Monday, push back up. Tuesday, lower high set. Wednesday, failed to break lower, so we go back upside for the weekly model. Thursday, we're printing above Wednesday's highs, but our ability to have follow through as a bull is not very good because the location's terrible. And now you've got bearish momentum. But they did not make this easy. Honestly, they've made this as hard as possible. I'd say if you traded ES today, you had a nice easy day, right? If you traded ES, you were like, oh, that was easy. Yeah, bearish. Thanks very much. Yeah, bear flag. Thanks very much. Yeah, breakdown under VWAP. Thanks very much. Yeah, lower highs. No attempt to get near the highs. Yeah, great. Gap fill. Like, it's done everything you'd want to see. It's one of those days where trading the other asset is very hard. Okay. ES back to PDC. NQ through the initial balance. You've got to be careful here. If they start triggering this squeeze, we know what it is. It will be a failed auction underneath if they start triggering the squeeze. Book's looking pretty thin. Look at the book map above me. Like, where is everyone? Where is everyone? Here goes the squeeze. Here's the reclaim. All right. So if they start trading through Midpoints, we go all the way high of day. All right, so we're watching POC on the session. If we start reclaiming, you're going to be watching 70s. If we reclaim that, VWAPs and 609s, and if we reclaim that, 50s and then high of day. All right, so this is all about whether they've trapped enough shorts under here. I would still like it to come down here. Like I really would. It would be really nice, but NQ is just being a pain in the butt today. Look at look at ES. What an amazing technical trader. It slammed up into IB and they went, no, get back down. Now the battle starts. So I'm still just that one trade down right now, waiting to see if we can get something else. Are we going to get acceptance here? If shorts, this is the story, right? Bulls chased in here, didn't get it. If shorts chased in here and we do this, where do we go? We go up, right? But this is value. So we've got to be aware that this can be chopped today. Where do bulls really want to take control? Probably around these areas. Here or here, bulls will want to take control. If we slide under this, it's high time frame, it's messy at that point. If we don't do something soon in this session, then you know, they're either going to set it up for the afternoon or tomorrow. This can be a huge liquidity building stage. Remember, this can be just a big pullback, right? We zoom out. Fail break. This can be something like down to here, and then we can do something like this, and then we have to see if there's any juice. And it doesn't have to be today. Does not have to be today. All right, previous week open here again. Trying to make this big enough so you can see the profile as well to help you with these levels. It's not easy to fit it all in right now. Still liquidity on the book into that 500s. Into that 500s. Cannot be bidding against this. We have not had a shift. We haven't reclaimed and held. It's had a squeeze up. Never able to hold a close over it and build liquidity. So let's just wait. If you're in this short, you look good still. Oh, my friend's 40th this Sunday. She's just sent invites out. We're going to see Naked Gun, but we're going in black tie with like whoopee cushions and stuff. I think we've hired the whole cinema. It should be a bit fun. Stupid. Okay, finally into this first level, right? Finally into this first level, right? First level, which is effectively Asia high. And I still think we can drift down. So you got previous week point of control, previous day value area high, previous day point of control, previous day high, Globex. What is that? Yeah, Globex low. Okay, understood. Just have to double check that. And PDC. I'm thinking about buying opportunities anywhere in here if we see a shift. I'm not buying against it. I will have to see a shift, right? We'll have to see some form of trap and a shift. Trump signing executive orders today at noon. Oh, great. We're into that kind of market again, aren't we? Hinging on every word the orange man says about tariffs. It's fantastic. I'm going to tariff these countries 100%, but not American companies who make their products there. I mean, it made me laugh yesterday. Tim Cook really made me laugh. He's like, don't you think he sounds like that South Park character, the teacher? Drugs are mankind. He sounds so much like that. And he was just like, we're really proud to say that all the glass on your, what was it, on your iPhone and your watch is made in America. I'm like, yeah, the least important bit of the technology is made in America. Where's the tech made, mate? Because it's not made here. We're partnering with TSM, and everyone's clapping. I'm like, you're pretty sure that's Taiwan. It's a Taiwan company. Just because it's floated on the American Stock Exchange does not make it American. Just makes me laugh, man. The smoke and mirrors is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Who cares, eh? I don't give two Fs. Pump this market up all you want. I'm happy with it. And then long term, I would like a deeper pullback for me to buy some ETFs. But you know, apparently the cash sitting on the sideline, I was reading a report last night, is at the biggest ever now. The biggest ever. Yeah, it's in, but who's the big owner of it though? Yeah, that makes sense, Mike, because we go searching. Once we take daily levels, we go searching for the next level. This is getting quite boring how this is moving at this point. The range actually isn't too bad, but it's just, you can see the reaction off those fives. We get through there, we trade 488s back to initial balance for the millionth time. ES back to PDC again. Does anyone else hear Tim Cook sounding like, what's his name? Is it Mr. Garrison? What's the teacher's name? So IB, rejection again. We're just still dancing here. Still in a sell. Conditions are still walking this market down right now. Can afford a big pullback if it wants to. Like we said, it can afford to come back to 400s and 350s if it wants. It's totally able to do that. If you look at an hourly chart, it's allowed to do that in base. It's totally fine to do that. Okay, yeah, exactly. That's how I hear him. It's crazy. I don't know why. It's just all I hear. My wife constantly tells me off because she works for them. She's like, don't. I work for them. Why are you taking the piss out of them? Like, it's friendly. It's not horrible. Just saying what I hear. All right, 20's here. 500's coming up potentially. You can see on the tape, sellers are 35 to 50, buyers are 20 to 500s, right? So they're playing 20 points each side, just doing this right now. And that's not an algo, all right? That's actual players. The algo is here, all right? And he's a little bit higher, isn't he? Well, he's got some decent size on there. Mr. Algo's at 205, liquidity provider 205 at 550 on the book. Not here, so you know that's a liquidity provider there. It's not legit. Mr. Mackay. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. No, Tyson. What happened, buddy? I mean, it gave you your trade. IB to VWAP. VWAP to IB. IB outside. And I saw you took one earlier. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure where you went. Don't fight the tape. Don't fight the tape. Just stick to the rules. Today's a harder day so far than the last few days, for sure. Can feel like less follow through in the market at the moment while we make decisions. And my Ninja Trader's just gone completely offline. Anyone else had that? Says it's online. It's definitely not. The ticker's not moving. Let's close this down for the 10th time today. What is going on? So it said it was online. Definitely wasn't. I always know as soon as my clock stops. That's like a really good way of knowing. If we squeeze now while I'm rebooting, I'm going to be fuming. Come on. Quick. Load up and give me data. Load up and give me data. What do you about Quantel? What do I know? What do I do? What's that question? Sorry, ERF. I think you missed a word out. No, Tyson. Just all right. Just relax now. Is it max loss or are they? Did you cook them all? Did you go full send against price action? Yeah, Quantal is really good. ERF. I just don't use it, but it is good. I do. I have it on my PC. I've just never really dug into it. I thought about it for a while, but I've just been so fixed on Ninja. I do really like Ninja. It's just it's never Ninja Trader's fault. It's whoever's the data provider when it loses data. It's not the charting software. I'm really sorry to hear that, Tyson. Hard lesson learnt there. Like you've said it yourself. When you stick to your trade, your one trade, you win. When you avoid that trade and you go looking for something else, and just remember, it's okay to take a red trade. It's okay to have a red day. Like just eat the loss. Just eat the loss. Don't never ever fight against it. Don't do the moron trade where you push extra size on. They were all 400 from passing, gutted right now. Just mentally reset. Mentally reset. You just got to learn from that mistake. Garbo, that's a bit of fortunate action there. Yeah, don't let it eat you up, Tyson, because you've identified what you've done wrong, right? You stopped just for one trade or two trades, I don't know how many it was, you stopped sticking to your rules, and then you tried to fight back. As you look at Coop a couple days ago, Coop had some tech issues, which got him in a bit of a hole. So he closed everything down. And then yesterday he didn't trade because he didn't want to trade because he was probably still carrying some of that energy into the next day. And today he comes back. So it's just about being able to control that, fighting the impulse. 187, yeah, this right here, previous week point of control. We might revisit it. And then you've got London lows 68 and Asian lows 445s, right? So these areas here can still be revisited. Remember, we haven't closed the gap on the Qs yet. Meta now red, Microsoft red, Tesla now red. Apple 2.83% up, Amazon 0.5% up, Google dancing around but still green 0.07% up, Nvidia 1.26% up, Meta 0.25% down, Microsoft 0.06% down, might go red to green here in a moment. Tesla over 0.5% down. So they're not in unison right now. VIX looks like it's going to test that level we just talked about, right? About, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago. 17 sort of 20s into that kind of level. There's an old low there, 17.11, I think it is. So there to 20 will be key. Through that, ES will keep rolling over and giving more back. We've got an overnight low and pivot on the spiders at 31.29. Much, much weaker on the ES. Still walking this down. Man, hindsight's something, eh? That normal setup I look for on the hourly, how I've not taken that today or seen it until late is beyond me. Was actually really good. Was actually really good. This hourly transition, where is... I've got to get a new screen now. I've run out of real estate space. This here, we always talk about this on 10 a.m. The fail break over the previous candle. Remember, that's an hour and 4 hour, and now the drive back inside. That is such a high probability setup. The fact that I've missed that today, when I look for that every day, is beyond me. So maybe now drift down into here, and then maybe, you know, here or here, and then maybe we get some kind of response. Doesn't have to go all the way up to highs, and then maybe they battle to see who's going to set a lower high on an hourly or 4 hour, either to come down or acceptance and go. That is sloppy trading for me to miss that, in all honesty. It's a little bit sloppy. So high time frame algo tagged here on the spiders. And they're trying to squeeze again. Watching this initial balance here. Here's your IB. If we reclaim this, you're going to watch VWAP. Right, if we reclaim this, you're watching VWAP. And then downtrend all morning, they can afford to squeeze out. Watching ES into PDC, these are big levels here, folks. Big levels. Let's say if they hold 28s now, shorts are stuck under there. Tricky. Starting to break trend, starting to try and reclaim flow zones above the initial balance, hasn't pulled back to firm up that shorts are trapped yet. So it's got to show some kind of pullback after these sort of explosive moves, just to confirm, hey, we're not letting them out. Otherwise, we're going to do the same thing we've done over and over again here. So you want to see like a pullback somewhere in here to hold and then go again, and then you know. But until that point, can just be a squeeze out of late shorts and then roll over again, you know. Yeah, still at that PDC. QQQ trying to get through. Tesla and Meta, the only ones red. Everything else green right now in this session. Battlegrounds here. I'm having to redraw everything. ES cannot get over its PDC. It's trying, not even at the IB. NQ at the IB, we just swept some internals. Does it hold the pullback to go higher? Or is this just a quick sweep of some internals and we're going to keep going lower? We traded into the demand block. I put that out this morning. It's been there all morning, the 500s. Right? So do we protect 500s or do we move lower? There is liquidity being provided higher now, 550, 560s. So do they go and like reach for that and then try and send it? Like we said, you can play if they confirm and firm up. The problem is we have no alignment. But if they firm up over IB, you go IB VWAP. You can think about POC. You need to get acceptance over 60, which they rejected, right? Clearly, they rejected value area low right now today. If they reclaim that, though, you're going POC, right? Everyone understand? So here's the attempt of the break. If they get acceptance over 60, we're going to start squeezing. Starting to look at this long now to see if we get a mean reversion type trade up through here. And then if we really start sending today, you know, we're looking for here and then here if we really got going. Can we get acceptance through the 60s? It's testing it. It's testing it. ES needs to get through initial balance as well, remember? That's the test of the 60s. Remember, this is value area low, which they're protecting right now. You can see the volume. You can see this is where we broke down from. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze here. Oh. So it's starting to break that trend. Do we start to build the liquidity to go back up? Or do they have unfinished business? Time will tell. See money, take money environment right now. But if this is the end of the pullback, then we can resume higher prices potentially. Thanks, Coop. There is liquidity being provided on the book all the way up to 80s right now. Being very grindy the way they've done this. No inefficiencies really. Very, very, very grindy. Tuesday. I leave Tuesday evening. So I'll trade Monday and Tuesday next week. I leave for London on Tuesday. I'll be there a week. Don't know if I'll be able to get on. I'll do my best, or at least I'll definitely provide analysis in Discord. I don't know if I'll be able to stream. I have to see. I haven't figured out where I'm staying the whole time yet. So if ES finds bids here on PDC in high time frame algo, if it reclaims initial balance, then we can potentially squeeze out. ES doesn't really have much business going lower at this point. It's done the damage. NQ, another story, but has relative strength on the day. Still 0.5% up on the day. Still trying to build a flag to go here by the looks of it, but it hasn't got acceptance through that 60 yet. It's really hard to like keep all this on the screen for you. This level here is key. Get through that, and we're going to probably try and trade up to this part. You see all the sellers above 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. They're all there. They're much above that. That big player still there. Has he gone? He's still right up there at 725. Thanks, Marek. Yeah, it's my sister's wedding, so I'll be down in Sussex for a bit. I land in London. I might spend one night in London, catch up with some family and friends, and then go down to Sussex. We'll see. Figuring it out. Still trying to build it. It's trying to build a high low, high high, and higher low, but it's still not in through these areas. Once we reclaim this, then there's a bigger squeeze on, right? Because here's the walk down. This is a wash of this so far. If we can use these two stops, we might be able to get up there. But until it proves that, can't really be thinking too much more. So we need to put in a higher low and then go. And it's Very hard to be convinced. Look at ES rejecting initial balance. The whole thing is tricky right now this morning. That was a pretty heavy sell there. What was on the offer there? 102 just came flying in. So it looks like it was an internal grab at the moment, and the market feels heavy right now unless it finds a bid down here where we just bid off. What an ugly market. I'm going to grab some food here and be right back. So I'm going to get a bit hungry, see if we've got any fruit. All right, new lows. Jeez. Make your mind up, mate. Back to 500s. Look at the book, though. Look above me on the books. Gross. Alex, will you be in London for a day? Most of the time I'll be in Sussex. I might be in London on Wednesday when I arrive, but I'm going to be heavily jet lagged. I'm going to go and see my in-laws if possible. And then I'll be in Sussex, so Brighton and just outside of Brighton. I won't have much free time when my sister's getting married, so I'm really on her agenda this week, or the week I'm back. Yeah, it's a strong rejection. They're trying to walk down. Where's value over a high yesterday? 442. Maybe we walk all the way down now. VIX into that 12s that we talked about. If it gets through 20s, it can have another leg up on VIX. It's crazy the difference. Like, look at ES on the daily. Mad. No, that's a big difference, man. That is a massive difference. Really nice rejection on ES. Now red on the day. Oh, how long will I be in London? Sorry, I just see that. One day tops. But I'll be in the UK for a week. Mate, I really don't think this market knows what it wants to do at this point. It's so out of sync. How many days do you have to trade an eval? I reached 3,000 yesterday, but nothing changed. On what? On Take Profit Trader? They'll just take some time. They might take 24 hours to do it. That's what happened to me last time. You can always drop them a message if it's TPT. Yeah. Sometimes it just takes a minute for them to go through it all. Don't worry. It's just a bit slow. You should have a credit. Once they do it, there should be a credit there for you to do it. Just send them a message in chat and raise a ticket. It will get done. Happened to me last time. It took 24 hours to do it last time when I raised a ticket. Market's still bearish. Flow's still bearish right now. Lower lows, lower highs. It feels very controlled. This is not panicking. This is a very controlled selling and pullback. It's very efficiently doing it. It's very gently being walked down. What time's Trump signing all these orders? Was it midday? Right in lunch when there's no volume? Is that when it was? Right, let's read this tariff wall. 50% Brazil and India, 41 to 45% Syria, Laos, 30 to 39%. Oh, he said it. China, Canada, Switzerland, Algeria. Well, that's not good. 25 to 29% Mexico, Tunisia, Moldova, Kazakhstan. 20% on Taiwan, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Bangladesh. 15% EU, Japan, Israel, of course, Ghana, and 60 others. Yeah, so that China one's the interesting one. I didn't think they'd done a deal. Thought they were waiting on approvals for longer. VIX still into that level, right? 1520s. Still got PDH. All right, previous week point of control. Previous day value area high. Globex, PDH, PDC, sorry, and previous day point of control. Everything around that. So previous week, previous day value area high, Globex, and gap fill. All potential down here still as we just drip lower. What are we coming into here on ES? What is this I've marked out? Okay, that's the old high from yesterday. So from Wednesday. So far in potential trend day lower. All right, yesterday trend day high. So far feels like trend day lower until it proves otherwise. We're not above the initial balance. All right, we're being walked down. We're being walked down right now. How much is he charging that country that only has penguins? I haven't got the full list, but who knows? We take their penguins. They don't take our penguins. Donald, you don't have any penguins. Oh my gosh, market, please. I've missed all the entries on the short side because I missed that easy trade. And now you're just making it very hard to want to pull the trigger on anything right now. This is a patience game. This is just testing the patience. All right, the VIX is starting to see a reaction out of that supply zone that we talked about. Look at the book above. This is what you don't want to see on the book above when they do this, right? This is what they've been doing all day. You don't want to see this. Gently walk down, absorb. Gently walk down, absorb. It's kind of ugly. Let's have a look at the ES. Man, that was a big area there. Geez. 70 to 90. That was a massive area. I'm less and less interested in the short at the moment, unless some major panic sets in. We've lost the best prices to take it at the moment. Coming into that previous week point of control, this is where there's a lot of volume here. Even overnight, we had some volume created here. If they fail that, then yeah, then I think 444s. Did anyone get any of this short? Man, I sat here lemoning, as I call it, when you don't take a trade. Man, oh man. Still down on the day, but between, oh, there's slipped some, between 25 and 35 on all accounts other than one, which for some reason is down 71. Mate, does anyone watch the Ballon d'Or? Do they make these nominations up? Erling Haaland, he was garbage this year. Get out of it, mate. No chance you should even be nominated. Sorry, City fans, but no. Declan Rice up. I love that. Love to see it. McTominay, get out of it. Coop, I have the yip, saw it, didn't take it. Yeah. Nicely, Kim. Good work. Marek got it. Good work. It's just so like it's being so controlled the way it's being like moved. It just feels like such a big change versus like the last 3 days, right? Where we've had like really good follow through. Even like if you're looking for follow through downside, I mean, there hasn't been that much strong selling. It's very controlled the way it's just being walk down, still some liquidity, walk down. At this point, it's very hard to validate a short. Even if it came all the way down here, it's quite hard to validate that move. 400. There's actually 100 points if it wants to do it. I just don't think it's going to do it. No part of me thinks it wants to come down that far in this session, but I could easily be wrong. I mean, from 10 a.m., all we've done is walk down. There's been no retracement, really. If you look at like a 30-minute bar I'm talking about, just straight down. So look at 15 minutes, same kind of thing. One little bar off the initial balance and then a little high and then sold into. Definitely bearish order flow right now. It's where we broke out from, where we are now in the overnight session. If they let go of this, then should really go and take out Globex. If they can't hold previous week point of control and where we broke out from overnight, we should really go and take Globex. Cannot really think about a short here, given the strength of the move off the highs after that H4, H1 trap that I love to see. And for some reason today, I'm going to have to go and watch this whole stream back and see why I didn't take that, because that is a usual go-to trade for me. So I wonder if I just lacked focus. Definitely some self-improvement needs to happen there. We talk about that trade every day on stream. So for whatever reason, I got distracted today by my own thoughts. Yeah, nice and slow, Tyson. Who are you trading with, Tyson? Apex. All right, cool. The first M15 candle is blocked out, and then the first M5 candle outside tells you the direction. What do you think? Dean, that's called an opening range. You're just trading the opening range. Yeah, so you're trading this. These white lines, it's your opening range. That's your M15. You're looking for an M5 close. That was what we were talking about the fade. I do trade that. I didn't love how we set this up, but it was actually really nice. I actually had an attempt at it up here for a follow through. I think I was long in here, partialing out, and I was looking for follow through, which didn't happen. So I moved my stop here and took the rest off. So yeah, it's a legit setup. The orb short played better than the orb long. This is really, really, really controlled, folks. This is very controlled selling. There is no panic in this. The more we control it, the more it's making me think this is just a pullback, which at some point, whether it's today or tomorrow, they will use all this liquidity and just rip it higher. Because we're not selling aggressively. There is not panic in the market right now. If that changes, sure. No worries, Dean. If that changes, sure. But right now, like Apple up 3% on the day, Amazon up 0.41% on the day, Google up 0.12% on the day, Nvidia up 1.22% on the day. Let's look at what's down. Tesla down under 0.33%, Microsoft down 0.18%, Meta down 0.32%. As a whole, we're up 0.22% as the MAG equally weighted. The NQ is up 0.36%. If we find a bottom at some point on this MAG, I think the market will start to rotate because it's so controlled, right? This is really controlled. This is, think about what a giant bull flag would look like. Right? It's being very controlled into these levels, opening this up. I'm not saying it has to do it, but when we're controlled like this, it does make you question it. Like the sellers, while they're in control in this time frame, in this session, they have not been in control all week. And unless we start taking out some key daily levels, I'm going to remain thinking that they're not in control this week. The likelihood of us going to weekly lows, like I said at the beginning of this session, it's under 20%. I'd say it's probably like 5 or 6% right now. So maybe we just turn inside and sort of base out for another week. That's very possible. Try and make this nice for you guys so you can see it. So up all night and then down all night and then up all day. Got it. Up all night was just based on the tariffs. Then we came into supply. This is a pullback, and we have to wait for the pullback to end. Right? If you think about an H1 or a daily pullback, you have to wait for it to end. And then if we start finding bullish structure today or tomorrow, then that pullback's over. Lower time frame, we're joining in for the higher time frame leg to resume upside. If it doesn't end, then it means sellers are taking complete control. Buyers are exhausted and we go deeper. But I'm not convinced of that until we break down on daily levels, and we're not doing that right now. VIX rejecting 1720, folks, right? Kept talking about that. 1710, 1720, clear level. If it gets through that and squeezes, market will get heavier. But if we don't, this is the edge that we talked about. All right, make sure you join me tomorrow. We're going to do another Apex giveaway tomorrow. Into these 500s. Previous week point control right here. Drip, 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 drip. Maybe we drip all the way down here if we don't protect this. We will see. We will see. London lows sat at 469-ish. Asia lows sat in these 444s. So all in here. Coming back to the 20-day now on the ES. Where is the 20-day on the Qs? Because we did hit top Bollinger Band today. Oh, it's miles away. Man, that's scary to think the Qs can afford a pullback to 562 and still just being a mean reversion. Nuts. Drip, drip, drip. I can't be short down here. Hindsight, beautiful thing. That short back under IB once we went over under was probably a good trigger. 543. I was looking to see if it would hold it for the long. That was probably a good trigger. I don't feel like I'm dialed in today like I've been the last few days. But maybe the lack of multi-time frame alignment. Look at the top right. High time frame and liquidity build. So that might be why I'm a bit more cautious right now. Hard to imagine us doing a gap fill today with Nvidia and Apple so strong, but it looks like it is attempting to do it. It definitely looks like it's trying to. Oh! What's that old gap? 1 second, folks. It's way lower. All right. What time's the Trump announcement? It was Miguel that told us, wasn't it? Let me have a look. Thursday. Yeah, what time? 12 o'clock. Man, what if we walk this down for his announcement to rip it? You got 9 minutes. Just wondering here. US President Trump is expected to sign an executive order on Thursday that aims to allow private equity, real estate, cryptocurrency, and other alternative assets in 401k retirements, as White House officials have stated. This order smooths the way for private equity and fund managers to tap into millions of dollars of Americans' retirement savings. It could open up a vast new funding source to managers of so-called alternative assets outside stocks, bonds, cash. Though critics say it could bring too much risk for retirement investments. Yeah, because when you're retired, you just want 5%, not 10 and 20 and 30s. Man, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if that's the game today. Walk down, walk down, walk down, walk down. Announcement, boom. I'm not betting on it, but I'm just wondering if that is the game that they're playing. Which, if it is, I'll sit here with you to play it. I'll play that game. I'll play that game. So first sort of bullish engulfing candle we put in, and it's at the 80s and it's reclaimed 500s. I'd say if they hold 90s now, the bears are trapped under there. Who is this calling me? Folks, I've got to take this. I will be right back. I'm going to sit with you during lunch for a little bit. I've got to take this call. All right. So first sign of a reaction down here, still very, very early, but it was off previous week point of control, like we talked about. If they hold this, you've got Trump talking in 3 or 4 minutes, apparently. Underneath this, you have all the PDH and Globex and stuff like this. But if they hold previous week point of control, that's where we built most of the volume last week. This is considered fair value in the market based on a weekly level. Based on current session, fair value is all the way up here. Based on previous day session, fair value is here. We would want, if bulls, we'd want to see us hold anywhere in this area. Or we'd need to see price action hold in that area. Failing to do that means we're just going to keep rotating down, walk down further today. I do not like shorts down here, though, that's for sure. Starting to see some covering before Trump gets in here. Let's see if we can get Benzinger up. Benzinger, what am I talking about? Short juice, here we go. So Trump's remarks not coming till 1 o'clock my time, which is on market close. So maybe he's just signing. I'm sure he'll do an interview, though. You know what he's like. Yeah, I've got him at 4 o'clock. Saying 4 o'clock for me, market time. I don't know if you're on central time there. Man, it feels like a bit of a miss this session. But it's okay, it happens. Can't get them all. So you got 1 minute until we get this new hourly bar. Let's see what we do. And into lunch, just a nothing burger for me. 1 fat finger, 1 tiny trade to make, well, probably hardly anything of that back, and then basically flat on the day. So let's just see. Here's the new hourly bar into lunch. Expect a volume drop off unless news algos take over here. What a drip. Why do I just have the feeling there's a massive move coming when I leave this desk? The way we've engineered this feels very controlled to go back up for it all for me. Way too controlled. I do not trust this the way it's been walked down. You think you would drop the market? Maybe, but think we've started pricing that in a little bit. You might be right, Raf, but this feels very controlled, right? Which means it's open for stop runs. You might well be right. And this doesn't have to happen today, but the way this has been done, for me, is opening itself up for that, whether it's today, tomorrow, or next week. If we'd moved like this, yeah, and we'd washed every little level out, maybe a bigger puke, but, you know, time will tell. Time will tell. Definitely not bidding against it, that's for sure. I have to prove, and I can't sure. I'm fucking, pardon my French, but I'm so late on it, missing that 4-hour exchange that was 2 hours ago, like we talked about. This is normally my bread and butter. How I've missed that today is kind of beyond me, but I have missed it, and that's it, so I can't chase it. Oh, I'm going to give it like 10, 15 minutes longer. I'm going to have to take my dog out because my wife wasn't able to do that this morning, unfortunately. I am going to ask a favor, though, from those of you who have done the course or enjoy the stream every day. I've never asked this before, but if you could leave me a review, I'm going to post the link in chat if I can find it. How's Luna doing? She's doing pretty good. She's getting a bit ahead of herself, which is the hardest thing right now, right? So she thinks she's better. She is definitely not better. She is still limping, but she's doing a lot better than she was 3-4 weeks ago. She's not fully weight bearing, but it's actually like trying to control her and slow her down is almost the hardest thing right now. She's probably a bit depressed that, you know, we're not letting her. She still has a sling. She's still on leash. The longest walk she does is like 2-3 minutes. So she's probably getting frustrated. But until we get the x-rays back next week, so I'll be gone, but my wife will be doing that until we get those x-rays back and get confirmation that the metal has taken to the, or the bone has taken the metal well, let's put it that way, and that we're starting to see ossification of the bone. Until we do that, we can't let her put too much weight on it. She actually slept in our bed last night. I mean, we are sleeping on the floor next to her, but she actually slept in the bed last night because I just felt bad. It's 4 weeks with her, like, you know, it all probably feels to her like rejection all the time because I'm telling her, like, get in your bed, get in your crate or whatever, and she, you know, it probably feels like punishment. It's just tough. Really tough for her. She's such a good girl. All right, where do we just trade down to? That was, I have a level one here. What is that? We have left those lows. What are those lows from? 109 and 8 o'clock last night. So maybe 55s, maybe 44s. So 50s and 40s basically. Maybe we want to come and take those first before anything else. I don't know. That's a decent reaction back to previous week. But again, lower highs, lower lows. That's all we're doing. Can't bet against it until it starts changing. London, yeah, London lows we just took. Asia's underneath at 444. But there's sort of some lows in the middle of those, not in a kill zone, I guess you could say, at 54s. $540 on the book. Okay, that's at IB. So there's a seller at IB. Let's check a yes. Oh, mate, that is gross. Messy chart. Definitely a trickier session for me. Hindsight, look back and you go, that was an easy short, wasn't it, mate? Just above 640s. What are you doing? But sloppy execution by me today, I would say. What would I be looking at for a reversal long? Would you be looking for flow zone reversal and break a trend? Yeah, like, so basically you'd want it to steal some liquidity, right? At any point, like you want it to trap short. So this could happen here, or it could happen underneath. It doesn't matter where it happens. And then you want to see higher highs and higher lows with a deep pullback that's starting to absorb. This can even come under here and then start to absorb. And you want to see the flow zone start to flip. And then you want an area where you're like, okay, shorts are trapped down there, right? Shorts are trapped underneath. We've reclaimed. We have lots of pain points to go and run for, right? Because then even if the long, right, is just going to get sold into up here, at least you've got, like, let's say you do this. Where is my long? Right, let's say you do something like this and your confidence trapped underneath. You've got like TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, TP5, TP6, and so on, right? So you're at least going to get 1R to your TP1. And that's what I'd be looking for. Can I stack the odds in my favor where shorts are trapped? At the moment, shorts are not trapped. They had the chance to trap them here, right? Because we walked down. They had the chance to trap them here. If they held above here, we could have gone for that. I was waiting for this long. They didn't do it. They collapsed it straight back down. Alex, I passed a 50k Apex out of AVAL in 3 days and received the certificate, but I didn't receive any email. Do I have to trade 7 days? No, you don't have to trade 7 days. If you got the certificate, you need to log into the signature page. If you log into Apex, go to the signature page, sign the signatures and pay for the account, and then it's done. Just watched your video, confirmed a lot and gave me new things to add. Awesome, sir. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome. All right. ES just traded to its 20-day moving average. The last few days is nuts, man. We've gone 2 standard deviations higher, sliced through 20, 2 standard deviations lower, back to 20, back down, back up, back to 2 standard deviations higher, and ES has gone back into the mid-range, 2 standard deviations into the midpoint. It's actually pretty nuts on the bowls right now. No worries, but yeah, you just don't want to bid against this, right? Because price action is still being walked down, right? If we just think about a 1MA, right? Just make it simple. This is all that's really happening, right? So until we see something like this, right, we can't get long because this is still very much in a downtrend. Now, why am I saying it's controlled selling? Because it's contained very, very well, right? There's no panic. What would panic look like? Panic would have been something like this. Boom. Right? There's no panic. This is just gently being controlled. And that's what concerns me thinking about a short, because when we control stuff like this, we can come back for these guys. Doesn't have to. Panic can set in later. That's also possible. I'm also cautious being short NQ when it shows such good strength. And ES has basically completed its move. Like, ES has gone red on the day. It's underneath PDC. Maybe the SPY wants to come back to IB from yesterday, which would be 630.50s, which on the ES, let me get the same level. I mean, we're basically there, man. We're basically there on ES. 6.355s. Yeah, but we're basically there. 5.375 might be it. I'll pull this in. What was that actual IB yesterday? 51 is the IB, but we're into a potential RBS zone on ES. This is what's concerning. It's concerning. Am I going to have to eat a small loss today? It looks like it at the moment. They're much lower. 37's moved to 50. Who else is on the book? Big orders are all higher right now. Qs might as well fill the gap at this point. Previous day high, gap fill here. They might as well just go and fill the gap at this point. So we squeeze all of yesterday, squeeze all of last night, give them back the squeeze from last night. Do we hold the squeeze from yesterday or not? Gave you my review, Alex. Oh, thank you already. Yeah. Thank you very much, Raf. Appreciate it. Just reading the news here, folks. Seeing what's coming out. All right, push pull has started. We still not filled the gap on NQ. That previous day high and gap fill feel a bit like low hanging fruit now, given that we're so close. So previous day high is 445. Gap fill will be 422s. We're very, very close. It's about as controlled as you get right there. Yeah, it's frustrating, Raf, but it is what it is, right? Like there'll be better conditions this afternoon or tomorrow or whatever, and you just keep going. And as long as you're managing your risk well, you'll be fine. Comes the retest of 500. There's 500. 97s, 98s. Okay, if they're going to squeeze this through 500, they'd be looking at 20s. Otherwise, they're going to slam the door any point now, I would say. Bids are coming in at 95s. There's the wiggle. And is this going to be the send it moment that I'm talking about? Have they just walked this down to send it? It definitely feels like it at this point, doesn't it? It's so controlled. If they get acceptance over 500, we can potentially squeeze here. All right, if they get acceptance over 500, that would be like a first potential high low. And then you'd be looking for it to take out 23, 25s. What's this level up here? 60s, I guess. Definite wiggle there. Feels so controlled. I cannot tell you. It's why I keep saying it. These move when we walk down like this, it always feels dangerous. You're looking for an exhaustive sort of bottom. I'd rather we gap filled now because we've gone that far down. I want to leave for the day, but I'm just concerned that they're going to do some dirty move over lunch. I'd rather we come down here and then turn, but you know we don't have to because ES has already delivered that move. Last measured move down, now walk back up. Yeah, potentially. If they find bids at 91s or around 91s, they can walk it back up. We're in lunch though, remember? I should really go. Look, the liquidity's gone. They've just pulled all the orders as well. 50s. This guy here at 35 is gone. I got a feeling about this one today. They're going to be nasty. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow though, but fairly confident we're going to wash out all the shorts. And 95s, this feels like it's key right now. Here she goes. You need to watch ES at PDC here, folks. If it reclaims PDC, you've got to think about what that means on the daily. It means we've gone red on the day and failed to accept lower prices, and then we're reclaiming PDC, which means we go green on the day. All right, so watching ES into PDC and how it acts there. It's a big level. PDC and IB are big levels on the ES today. PDC obviously here for us, like we're not trading below it. So ES has traded all the way down here and is coming to backtest it. Again, I think the key level here right now is sort of 500 to, let's call it 91, 92, somewhere around there. If they hold bids around there, they're going to start producing higher lows on very low time frames, right? Low time frames. Interesting. All the liquidity below has gone. Oh, here they come. They're coming back in now. Okay. I was going to say, if they leave, then we're only going upside, but they're back in now. I really need to get out of here, man. I just got a feeling the moment I leave and take Luna, we're going to do some move. President Trump orders work on new census that will not include illegal aliens. All right, here's the trade back into 91. If they hold this and then pivot up, can be the start of lower time frame trying to take control. If they can't hold this, then we go back down to low of day. All right, because this is where we just found a bid through here. So they need to hold this, produce a higher low, and then produce high highs and higher lows and start to curl. If they can't hold this, then there's no long trigger up here because it means we just rotate. Momentum has been bearish all morning. Just remember that. I've got to put a stopwatch on this because I need to get out of it. This is the level. What are they doing? I'm guessing volume's gone. Not too bad. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Because we're into lunch. Nothing's really happening. I don't like the shorts anymore at this point. I think, you know, you're running out of RR. I think they're going to be a long retracement. Whether it happens today or tomorrow, I don't know. But just based on how they've walked it down, it feels like there will almost definitely be a long retracement to come and take some liquidity. And are they going to do it now? I keep just watching, thinking, when are they going to do it? They're going to do it when no one's ready for it. That's when they're going to do it. Oh, hair everywhere. Gross. Gross. All right, folks. Yeah, those in Discord, I'll be in later because I got. If I don't miss it over lunch, I think we get a setup. So let's see. If I miss it now, taking Luna out, then I'm going to be slightly devastated. It's starting to produce that higher low now. Oh, I got to get off. I can't. All right, going to get off before I have temptation. Take my doggo out and then be back. Those in Discord, I'll be back in an hour or so. Hopefully we haven't gone without me. We can think about that new 4-hour transition at 2 o'clock. Maybe we get something then. Those who joined the stream, sorry it wasn't as good as the last few days, but we have had bangers on stream for like 3 days. So not every day I'm going to get everything. And yeah, back tomorrow we go again. Please trade safe, use hard stops. Remember, Trump is signing orders, is speaking. Anything can happen. You do not want to oversize. You do not want to be placed in a trade that you're not managing risk on. Please be smart. We go again tomorrow. There was a new video that I just posted yesterday on Apex. If you can give that a like and a comment if you haven't already. And yeah, peace and love. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's close out this week strong.